This year at Wimbledon, there weren't just people watching every serve, slice, volley and backhand. There was also a computer quietly gathering reams of data and spitting out eerily accurate predictions on the outcome of each match. But this computer's ambitions lie far beyond the tennis court.
This is Jeopardy! The IBM Challenge.
IBM Watson is probably best known for its victorious stint on the US quiz show Jeopardy more than a decade ago, when it first showed off some of artificial intelligence's potential by winning the $1 million top prize. In the years since, we've not really heard much about Watson, as IBM has looked with limited success for ways to make money from the software. The likes of Google's DeepMind, Microsoft's OpenAI, and Meta AI Research have claimed the bleeding-edge AI research mantle. At Wimbledon and the US Open, IBM is trying to show that AI isn't a future technology, it has applications today.
We are basically transforming massive amounts of data into insights. One of the things that we're doing is the IBM Power Index. What that's doing is measuring the momentum and form and performance of a player. So it combines a number of factors, not just the tennis results for those players, but also the buzz in the media around those players.
Artificial intelligence generated images, voices and self-driving cars garner a lot of the buzz. But the reality of how the tech is used today is actually more banal. It's mostly about data analysis. For tennis, IBM is leaning on two of its AI capabilities, Watson Discovery and Watson OpenScale.
You have Watson Discovery, which allows us to mine information, unstructured data, mostly text, coming especially from media coverage. There's tons of that, as you can imagine.
The ability to interpret unstructured data is one of the novel elements of IBM's offering. It scans data to infer the broad sentiment towards a player, and then builds this into its prediction. But how successful is it?
It's been pretty good. I think initially we was kind of around the low 70% in accuracy. I think that's now getting much more into the 80s. So the predictions are pretty good.
While this analysis seems like a fun feature for tennis fans, IBM has far greater aspirations than just sport. The global sports analytics market was valued at $889 million in 2022 and is likely to hit $6 billion by the end of the decade. For IBM, a company worth some $60 billion in annual sales, that's not a very big prize. It is instead more about showing off its capabilities to other would-be customers.
And if you can do this for popular things like sports, then the public will demand similar constructs when they are dealing with other kinds of decision-making.
Can sports analysis popularize Watson for IBM? Well, it's not the only company with this idea. All its rivals are doing the same. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise lends the Formula One racing team Mercedes-Benz its data analysis savvy. Oracle works with Red Bull Racing, and SAP does something very similar with the German soccer champions Bayern Munich. Companies tend to accelerate their sports sponsorship efforts when a new market is being created. So when cell phones were gaining mass adoption around the turn of the millennium, network providers splashed heavily on sports sponsorship. The so-called advanced analytics market is already worth $41 billion and could top $190 billion by 2030. All those tech names piling into sports are really fighting for one piece of that lucrative pot. The audience for IBM's efforts at Wimbledon isn't necessarily you or me. It's the chief technology officer for a manufacturer in the Midwest who's looking for a data analysis firm to make her factory more efficient. That booming industry will ultimately affect you and me though. Say you're going for a job. Data analysis tools screen your resume and personal information to assess whether you're a suitable candidate. Need a loan? Data analysis might already be deciding whether to approve you or not. So what you see on the tennis court today could, if IBM has its way, be having an outsized impact on your everyday life before too long. There's a big competition afoot, but we're still only in the early rounds.